We're talking EQ today. You probably could tell that from the title, but this is something that has helped me out a lot. It's added a lot of production value to my shows, but it's still pretty easy to do, so let's get into it. Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome to another video. This week we're talking about EQ and how to properly use it for your podcast. Now, it's pretty important that whenever you're using EQ, you can use my steps as a bit of a guideline, but it's very, very important to try and use your ear, and whatever sounds good to you is going to be the best route. I can teach you as many things as I can, but you have to trust your own ear when it comes to making any of these edits. So EQ, or equalization, refers to the tool that allows you to manipulate certain frequencies within a range. So it's kind of like a volume knob for the frequencies that are within that range. So when you see a complicated looking mixer with all of those knobs and sliders and stuff, it's basically volume knobs for certain frequencies. So you can turn your lows up, your mids up, your highs up, and everything in between as well. So we can do all of that in post-production with a simple tool. I'm going to use Adobe Audition. We'll jump in it real quick. I'll just show you what I do, and hopefully this helps you. But again, take what I am telling you with a grain of salt and kind of use your own ear. Whatever fits your microphone the best, whatever fits your voice the best is going to be the best outcome. Okay? So let's jump in. All right. So here I have a little bit of a test piece. You can see it's just a test over here. I'll play it for you right now. This is zero processing whatsoever. Here we go. This is a test. This is testing the equalizer in Adobe Audition. So that was unprocessed, and it doesn't sound that bad, but we'll see how much better we can get it to sound with our EQ. So we'll go and do this effects rack, go to filter and EQ, and check out our parametric equalizer. We'll go back to default here. Now this line represents the volume of all of the frequencies. You can see the range down here in hertz, all the way from 0 hertz to 20,000 hertz. These are the super low frequencies, super high frequencies, mid-range. So the first thing that I usually do is throw on a high pass filter, and what this does is it lets all of the higher frequencies pass through the filter. So you can see I'm cutting down on all of these low frequencies down here. I usually set it to right about here where it's 70 hertz and below is totally gone. And the reason for that is all of those super, super low frequencies when it comes to vocals are usually just a distraction. They're usually just bass rumbles or a thud or something that doesn't really need to be heard. Now, after I do that, I kind of raise what we have left here up a little bit. Not much. And maybe move this high pass filter a little more. I raise that up to about right there, and that just lets all of the lower to mid to lower frequencies here kind of really pop through and let your voice be a little bit more bassy if it's not a natural bass sound. Now after that, I go through and I lower some of the midtones right here, and the reason I do that is because it kind of gives your voice a little bit of contrast. We'll see how it sounds right now after just that little bit. This is a test. This is testing the equalizer in Adobe Audition. Okay, that's with it. Now we'll play it without. I'll bypass it. This is a test. This is testing the equalizer in Adobe Audition. Again, without. Then this is with. This is a test. This is testing the equalizer in Adobe Audition. Okay, so not a huge difference yet, but there are some subtle changes that allow it to kind of pop a little bit more. Now, after I go through and get rid of these midtones, I'll kind of raise up a little bit between 1,000 or 2,000 hertz over here. Now, I said before that cutting these mid-rangers give you a little bit more contrast. This is why, because when we raise this up, it kind of allows that contrast to be even more prevalent, where it kind of allows the listener to feel like they're in the room with you. So we'll give that a listen here.
This is a test. This is testing the equalizer in Adobe Audition.
Okay, so you can hear the difference in that. I'm going to actually lower this a little bit more, a little bit more subtle.
This is a test. This is testing the equalizer in Adobe Audition.
Okay, right there sounds pretty good.
This is a test. This is testing the equalizer in Adobe Audition. This is a test. This is testing the equalizer in Adobe Audition. This is a test. This is testing the equalizer in Adobe Audition.
So you can hear these subtle changes that it is making. Now, after I do this is kind of my basic shape that I start every podcast with. Now, these higher frequencies are kind of up to your discretion and your voice and your microphone. The higher you go, the more clarity you'll have, but you'll also get a lot of those hissing S's, and it's a lot more harsh. The lower you'll go, it's going to sound a little bit more muddy, but if you have a higher voice or if you have a lot of those hissing S's, then maybe lowering the highs will help you out with that. So we'll run through and test out a little bit of what we need here.
This is a test. This is testing the equalizer in Adobe Audition. This is a test. This is testing the equalizer in Adobe Audition.
So I think right about there is pretty good.
This is a test. This is testing the equalizer in Adobe Audition.
Even a little lower. So you can see just a little subtle change can really affect the sound of your voice. Now, this is kind of my basic shape for my voice. I edit our podcast every week, so I kind of get an idea of what I need to do. But again, this is a pretty subtle changes, and you can mix yours up as you go, but this is the basic shape that I use for my voice, where I cut the low frequencies completely out. I raise a little bit of these lower to mid frequencies. I cut the middle frequencies, raise up right here, a little bit higher around the 1K mark, and then my higher frequencies, I raise up just a little bit as to not give a little bit too much harshness, but to offer a little clarity in my voice. So that's kind of how I run my equalizer. We'll hit apply here, and you'll see it kind of changes the waveform a little bit. But that is basically my workflow for the equalizer. All right, guys, I hope this helped you out. I know this was a bit of a shorter video, but I just kind of want to go over the basics of what EQ is. So if you like this video and you want to learn more about starting a podcast, I have a course that goes over for everything from what equipment you need to get started to all the way to promoting and uploading and all of that good stuff. So I will leave a link in the description. And if you guys have a podcast that you need edited and you just don't have the time, or you want to focus more on the creative side, shoot me a message. I'm always available, or you can visit my website at ieditpodcast.com for more details. And thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Hit that bell, hit the subscribe button, the like button, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys next week.